Morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I survived my day off with my granddaughter yesterday. Just. Paper out of freezer. John, thank you. Wonderful, thank you. It's done. But the reason why it's done is because I came to my workbench here this morning. I came to the workbench upstairs here this morning, and I found this note on here. It doesn't say, remind you to take the paper out of the freezer. It's Kawai-san. He was here last night, 2 days ago. And when he was working here, he found my paper for the test print for this gift print, which I had forgotten to put in the freezer. So he put my paper in the freezer, and the note reminded me, Buru-san's paper to freezer. So yeah, we've got double trouble, a double benefit. Everybody in the building is reminding me to take the paper out of the freezer. So anyway, thanks. Keep it up, because there are days when I just forget. So absolutely, it's not boring. It's not a meme. Please remind me every day. We are moving back to where I was a week ago. I don't even remember when I was trying to start the test printing on this thing. It's supposed to go online October the 20th. Maybe it'll make it October 20th, 2019. Who knows? It's been busy. Today's the last day of October here. It's October 31st. Oh, I forgot again to carve that. I also forgot to bring my glasses. Anyway, let's go. It's the last day of October, October 31st. And we're ready for this month to be finished, just for the reason that our graphs, our charts, don't have enough room on them for what's been happening this month. I showed you a few days ago how we were doing this month, and I'll pop up. After I got back from the trip yesterday, I looked at the online sales, and here's the Asakusa. This is Asakusa history. Nothing to do with subscriptions, nothing to do with online. This is Asakusa, and it looks exactly as insane as I've been telling you. So, and that bar, I've kept raising the top bar, the x-axis, y-axis, whichever one it is. I keep raising it every few days. So. This is not really going to continue. This is not an indication that our business has jumped to some stupendously new level. It's oops, what have I done? It's a few things. It's the organic increase in our business. That's fine. Then it's seasonal. We have a spring peak and an autumn peak. And then on top of that, of course, we got a new shop downstairs. We opened that this summer. And this is our first busy season with that new shop running. And then on top of all that, we've had the fabulous hit to our business from the video, the movie, which is playing in airplanes all over the world. Those contracts, we understand, run month by month, so that could all be coming to an end today. Today's the last day of October, and it's possible that the movie will no longer be playing in the airplanes. I can't complain. It's been stupendous for us, absolutely stupendous. I think I'm going to get a different brush. Excuse me a minute. I got to go to the shelf and get another brush. I need a more localized brush here. Just a minute. I need a brush that doesn't go round so far outside. Get your glasses. My glasses are in the shop. My glasses are down in the shop. 3 stories down. And I do not want to open the shutter right now. My daughter, it was a long day yesterday. And my daughter and her husband and the baby are still asleep in the old party room. I really don't want to disturb them. Granddaddy has no choice. He has to get up anyway. We had a good day. We went to Nikko. Although we didn't really see a whole lot of stuff anyway. When you got a baby there, whatever, you got a baby. We went to Nikko. And that might not have been the best choice for a place to go. I was thinking, Nikko, it's famous for the autumn colors and stuff. So on the weekend, out of the question, we can't go on the weekend. So I thought Tuesday's okay. We can go Tuesday, no problem. Won't be so crowded. Mistake. We got to the station about 15 minutes ahead of the train time. We selected, thinking we'd buy our passes. The line ran out the window, around the building, and down the block. So we didn't have a chance to buy train passes. So we had to pay all our transportation, regular train, express train, buses, train, express train. We spent a fortune on transportation because we didn't have enough foresight to get the pass the day before. And then when we got there, we had taken our baby stroller with us. I had heard recently that the Nikko stuff, it's ancient, old shrines and temples, mountainside, hiking trails, stairs. You can't take a baby buggy. But I had read a story about it that said because it's now been made, what do you call it? Sekai-san. World Heritage Site. And part of the designation of World Heritage Site is that they had to make the place wheelchair friendly. So I thought, great, wheelchair friendly means baby buggy friendly. Wrong. So we had real trouble. We had to basically pack up the baby buggy. I hauled it over my shoulder and the kids carried the baby. Again, just bad planning on our part. But we had fun, just whatever. It's just time hanging out together, really. And we were late because of all the things about dealing with the baby, and she's got to sleep right now and all that stuff. So we were really late. We didn't get back till, I don't know, 10:30 or something. It was just jammed. The buses were jammed. Everywhere was jammed. Jam-packed. It's the extended edition because we're up on the 3rd floor. Normally when we're on the 1st floor, we hear somebody come and she goes past the doorway, chuk, 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 it's all over. We're up on the 3rd floor so we can see and hear a long way away. Are there newbies in the stream here today who don't know what that was all about? So we need a shoe lady command on our bot. Sometimes during the stream, the doors are open at the front door, and we can hear various sounds out on the community out there. The garbage collection comes along, we can hear the garbage collection. And at some point over the past few months, we've been hearing sounds that keep coming back again and again. And there's a guy who cuts some ice for a bar next door. We hear the same sounds. And there's this particular lady who goes past from the station on her way to work, and she has a particular kind of shoes on the particular sidewalk with a particular gait, and she's become a slight meme. Oh, here, somebody's talking about it. So she's become a gentle meme on this stream. And I guess there's 2 people now in the know. There's 2 people who have actually seen her in real life. One of whom is me, and one of whom is Cal Carlisle, who was a visitor here, and the door was wide open when she walked by one day. He was here, and he saw her go by. Yes, I have seen her. And some people had asked maybe if I should, they've suggested I should chat with her one day, ask her to come in and say hello to you guys. Having seen her, I got to tell you, I will not be saying this to her. I saw her walk by from a distance one of the Tuesdays when we were closed. It's, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. And she is one scary lady. One scary lady. Not the kind of person that you could chat with. Hey, you know, we've got something I'd like to tell you about. No way. You can tell that from the feet. You can tell that. So let's just leave it right where it is. It's a little joke, hearing this sound every now and then. But this is nothing that we will be able to go any farther with. So. She and I will grow old together. Yeah, I know, this thing about running the business, that came up. I forget who I was talking to about that. It's chilly here. Excuse me, I got to close the window a little bit. I forget who was talking to me about it. I don't know, it was Cameron or somebody, or I don't know, maybe it was Cal, I don't know. I can't remember, but that point did come up in the conversation. That this is the kind of person we need to help me with the business. Powerful, vigorous, aggressive, steady, stable, and scary. maybe this is the qualifications for... Scary is the wrong word. Just, she seems like a bit, what's the word? I don't know, there's an English word for it. Formidable. She just seems a bit formidable. Oh, I have no rubbing tool. Hang on a second. I really want to do this as a peaceful stream today. You know, I can't get through this, but just I want to sit quietly and do this bit by bit by bit instead of banging, banging, banging. Life the last few weeks has been so crazy. I just want to really sit peacefully today, do a little bit of this work. I won't be able to get it finished. Where's my bear? Excuse me for leaning over here. So for me, opposite, just I want a peaceful, peaceful, peaceful morning here. The clip the other day on Reddit, so that was kind of insane, What's it up to now? 200,000 views? I don't even know. I haven't had a chance to check it today. Registration fixed. I believe the registration's okay. We're going to handle this at the moment here, block by block, as we go through. When I was out of town, out of the shop yesterday, a bunch of packages came in. You know, the auction stuff we get. The auctions run every day in the week here for these prints, but it's very common for Sundays to be a heavy day. And we got a bunch of stuff last Sunday night. I stayed up late. I bid for a bunch of stuff on Sunday and got it, which means the payments flow through Monday. They make the shipments Monday. We get them Tuesday. So a bunch of stuff came in here Tuesday yesterday. I think it's still a bit light. Let's see what it looks like down there. A bunch of stuff came in yesterday. So when I was down in the shop early this morning after waking up, I opened up a few of the packages that came in yesterday. And I've got a couple of things to show you this morning, a couple of nice little things. So you remind me a bit later. We have a very, very short little show and tell this morning. We're going with the green, eh? I know when these test prints I did last week, we really had a heavy blue. These were the first test prints a few days ago. And we had the green down here, and it was really quite a heavy bluish green. That was a bit of a mistake because we're going to put more blue on top of it from the bird. So this next level of testing here, I'm going with a more, I don't know how to describe it in words, a greenier green instead of a bluer green. Different white balance on these cameras show a different thing. The first testing last week was a bluish green, a bit boring, I think. I'm going to go with a bit of a greener green. We might do it, I'm not sure, we might do it this way, a bit darker down here and a bit lighter up here. I don't know, we'll see. We're still just testing on this thing. I've really got to get the testing done and get this thing into production now. My daughter will be here till Saturday. They're leaving Saturday. Then I'll be able to get more time on this and we'll get running. This is not a very good brush. Just do about 5 sheets for a test here this morning, and then go back to next color. In the auctions that were up on Sunday night, you know, there was a couple of things of interest that came up, quite a few actually, but one in particular I really felt I had to bid on. It's not something that we're going to sell in the shop, but it was a print that I thought would really make good sense for a collection. I know it's a reproduction of a painting by Hokusai. We all know Hokusai. He did many woodblock prints, of course, but he also did a huge number of paintings during his life. And that's probably actually the main way he made a living, doing paintings. You know, people would commission scrolls and stuff like this. He would probably have got quite a good payment for each one of them. The woodblock prints he designed, although they sold in the millions of copies, probably did not bring a whole lot of revenue. There was no such thing as royalties back then. He would have got a flat fee for doing a design, and then you're out of here. So even the prints that sold a lot of copies wouldn't have made him a whole bunch of money. So he was a painter, and I've got a copy here of a print that was made, I think, back in the Meiji time, and it was copied from one of his paintings / sketches. And when I saw it in the auctions on Sunday night, I thought I had to get it because it really works nicely with the current theme working here at Mokuhankan on rats. So let me finish this green, switch to the red, and you can have a look at this painting. And don't ask me about buying it because we're not going to sell it. But unfortunately, somebody else had the same idea as me, that they really wanted it. So that's the way auctions go, and you have to decide how much are you willing to part with for this. Yeah, this is still testing, so I'm trying different variations of, I don't know, darker and lighter. We'll do a double impression up top to see if we can make it darker here. The point of testing is to do a bunch of prints with different variations, and then you look at them and decide which one you like, or what combination I like. And then we'll decide on it, and it'll go over to the girls, the staff, and they will make hundreds of these prints, hundreds. And where we're going is this. This is the test print I did last week. We're looking at a small print of a kingfisher with something, his prey he's just caught. And this will be our gift print this year once it's sorted out. It'll be on the gift print page sometime. Today's Wednesday, but over the weekend it'll be on the gift print page. Okay, we'll switch out to the red. But before I do, let me show you that print. This is going to be a bit mixed up today. I'm not catching all the stuff here. If there's questions, I'm sorry I missed it. Oh no, excuse me. It looks like you guys are answering for me. Thank you. Good. Somebody's asking about how do we line this up. I guess there's a lot of people who probably haven't seen the printmaking process before. There's a corner mark. Excuse me a sec here. There's a corner mark carved on the wood. And there's a line carved on the wood. Can you see it? There it is. See it? There's a bit of a notch there. And a corner carved in the wood. So what we're doing is we're taking pieces, we've got carved shapes, we're putting color on them, we're taking pieces of moistened paper and putting them into the corner and into the line. And that's what gives the line up. And then rubbing the back, it transfers the color. To make this print, you can see there's different colors. There's, for example, a green and a red and some lilacs. And we have a series of blocks. We have a green block, we have a red block. And this, again, they're all over the table here. There's one of the lilacs, another lilac, and a black. So the point, you can see the idea. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 separate printing zones on these pieces of wood. And the 7 zones combined, after they're printed one by one by one, make up a print something like this. So that's the concept of what we're doing today here for the new people who haven't seen this before. And the stream itself, what we do is I just simply do this every day. And the printing, when we really get printing, I'll be doing the same color 100 times. It's not really anything interesting. It's like watching a Toyota assembly line focused on one place. You watch a guy put the wheel on, goes down. Watch a guy put the wheel on. That's what we do here. This is my life. Sometimes the streams focus on when I'm actually carving the blocks. That's probably what's going to be happening tomorrow. I'm not sure. So for those of you who are new here, this is the general scope of what kind of work we do here. The prints we make are whatever. Anyway, show and tell, show and tell. Let me mention, this is for the regular viewers. This is what I got on an auction a couple of days ago. This is a woodblock print based on a painting by Hokusai. And the theme, of course, is rats, and they're eating a fish head. This sounds like bizarre. We've got a stream here. We're going to show you a couple of rats eating a fish head. Real cool, right? Let's get it out of the package here. What you're looking at is a print. This would be made, and again, I just got it a few minutes ago. I haven't had a chance to really study it. Late Meiji era, maybe Taisho era. So this is maybe 1920s or 1910s or somewhere around there. I really don't know. And the original conception would have been a painting done by somebody back in the old days. And somebody, maybe it's the artist, has put the name Hokusai on it. It might be an original Hokusai or not, I don't know. I mean, not this one, the original painting that this was taken from. And it could be because it's got the same kind of conception. He was famous for this kind of stuff, little still lifes, a little bit gruesome. And look at this, they have really, the printmakers have really, really, really caught the reality of this thing. I don't know how close we can get before this camera focus gives up. This is a wood block print, and every one of the colors that's been put on is the same way as you just saw me do that little green. The pink of the flesh there is a base pink tone with a darker overlay in parts and then a gradation. Look at the mice. The mice have gradations all the way down the tail. Can you see it? Look at the gradations on the mice. We're going to get the camera here. How many gradations? You count them. I can't. This is a stupendous little production. And as I said, when I was bidding on it, I first bid and nobody else wanted it. It's a bit of a scrappy item. But then somebody else decided he had to have it, and so did I. It's no big deal. I ended up paying about 8,000 yen for it, which I guess is about $70. And I don't care. I'm happy, happy, happy. How many blocks? It's perhaps not that bad, you know. You think of the salmon area, there's a base tone, then another tone for this, the bones, and then one for the... So it's 2 blocks. The gradation is on the same block. There's the key block, of course. There's one black block that's done over here with gradations. The mice... I don't know, I'd have to get this under the scope to figure out. It's not a huge number of blocks, it's a huge number of colors. No, I paid 8,000 yen, not 80,000 yen. 8,000 yen, which would be about, as I said, about $70 US dollars. I'm really, really happy with that. This is Hokusai's signature. Again, not Hokusai didn't touch this, it's just somebody made a woodblock print based on an old painting by Hokusai. So he has nothing to do with this. And you can tell from the back side that it's a woodblock print. You can see it's rubbed from the back in the same way that the print I'm just making at the current time is rubbed. I think this is really, really, really a cool thing. It's a bit of a grotesque item, but my God, what a beautiful production. I'm 66 years old. This is at least double my age. It's not done on a very high quality paper. In fact, it's done on a kind of a real terrible paper actually, and I'm quite surprised it survived as long as it has. We'll do what we can to take care of it. Someone's asking about the concept. is it curious that somebody has an image of rats eating a fish head? Is that worthy of art, of making a print? It's an open question. For me, the question is not relevant because for my particular take on these, this is just me. For me, what the woodblock prints are about is the beauty of the production. The nice paper, the gradations, the touch and the feel, and oh my God, I want to eat this. It looks so good. So for me, personally, it's not the theme that's important. It could be a beautiful woman, it could be a kabuki actor, it could be a fish head. I don't care. What are we talking about? 271. I'm not that old. Is that what you're talking about? Sorry. Oh, the stream. I see. Okay. Well, if that's it, I better get back to some work here. Anyway, there we have it. Let's get some work done. Switch to the next color. It'll take me a minute here to get something worked out. I've got some red pigment. At the moment it's dry. Let's get it moistened up and ready to start. The pigment for this next block is the one called the Honyoko Basic Red. And the pigments we're using for this stuff are basic, simple powder pigments. It's the kind of stuff that is used when companies make oil paint, for example. There's a pigmented color, then they mix binders and oils and whatever to make their oil paint. When people are making watercolor pigments in tubes, there's a basic colored pigment to start with, then they mix in glycerins and binders and whatever in a different way. So each of the different things that you buy in the marketplace, whether it's oil paint or watercolor paint or gouache paints or whatever, they all start with the same basic thing, colored tiny pigments. And that's what we're using raw. We just use the pigment powder by itself mixed with water like this. And sometimes they don't blend with water. You need a little dab of alcohol inside to make it mix. But this one's come up just fine. So we're using raw powdered pigment brushed onto a block along with a bit of paste. Again, for those of you who are new here, you can see what's happened. You missed the carving stage. The carving stage happened over the past few weeks. You can see what's happened. It looks like the shapes chopped into this piece of wood. And what it is the basic surface area of the wood has been left behind in a number of places, and I've scooped away. If you think about it like as islands and seas, see the triangular shape here? That's an island, and it's surrounded by seas. So the seas are low, and even though they've been rubbed with red here, they are not going to pick up the color when it goes onto the paper. Just let me do it first. You can see it rather than explain it. Yeah, so many new people here. I'm sorry then. It's going to be a bit repetitive trying to explain some of these things again and again and again. So, a dash of the red pigment onto the wood surface. We have a tiny bit of paste which helps that pigment smooth into a cream and make a good impression on the paper. The 5 sheets of paper we're testing today, we finished 2 colors. There's a background color has already gone on, and the green color has gone on. Next one now is going to be this red color. It's already dried while I was just saying that. And again, there's corner marks. Into the corner mark, click. Against the horizontal registration mark, click. Paper is now exactly in place, and we can rub to make the impression. go. And the shape that was carved into the wood has now been transferred in color to the picture itself. And you can see what we're doing. Bit by bit by bit, we're going to make this add up to a finished print. For those who are asking in my email this morning, will Jed be here again today? Jed won't be here today. Jed's gone back to America. He may be watching us now. I don't have any idea. Jed finished his sketching. He went to Kyoto for a few days for sketching. Stayed here and did a bunch of work for us. So work for us meaning signing. He signed hundreds and hundreds of prints for us over the past few days. And he's now gone back. He's back home with his kids. It was good fun having him here. We didn't have him for too long. He was just here for a couple of days, then down sketching, and now back for a couple of days. Let's try now. What we've done, let's try an experiment. We've got a light red here now. Let's try tapping the brush to put a scrappier red in a few places and see what comes up. We get a bit more of a mottled, rougher texture. Some parts are darker, some parts are lighter. It looks a bit more natural. But if we intend to do that on the finished print, that's an extra step, an extra cost. Fridge is upstairs. The fridge is over there. Yes, the fridge is over on the soup. Let's do that. Let me go get it. Hang on a sec. Given that there's so many new people on our stream this morning, we should introduce them. I'll just place them here, and you guys can take care of the introductions, please. Is there a bot command? I don't think there is a bot command for this, is there? Get with it, guys. Come on, settle down, Dave, here. Let's go. Don't get ink on yourself there, Fridge. We last saw Al 19 days ago. I don't think so. I did a sizing stream. What's today? Wednesday. I did a sizing stream on Monday, and Mr. Fridge was right there. So I don't think your owl count is accurate, whoever's running that. I hear footsteps. He's back. Come in, come in, come in. It seems we've got a bit of, there's been various people posting about us on different places, and somebody's telling me there's like 275 people watching us this morning, most of whom who don't know what we do. Come in and help me explain.
Okay, because they're printing.
Well, they were still test printing. This is Cameron Sand. Oh, look at this. Somebody's already done it.
Hi. Oh, thanks. Good morning.
And I don't know what's happened. It's some, the Reddit thing today we talked about, Total Biscuit John Payne, that was posted on Reddit somewhere. And I guess it's been a cascade of postings. I haven't seen this. Somebody's mentioning that there's a Reddit thread, I don't know, something about on a live stream fail. I haven't seen the details of this. Somebody has posted something we did that screwed up, whatever, and that also has apparently done something on
Okay,
live stream.
I don't remember any major live stream fails.
I don't, and I didn't even know such a Reddit thread existed. Live stream fails. We should work hard to try and get on there more often.
Yeah.
No, not. So, anyway, the upshot is we've got a whole bunch of people here this morning who have never seen us before. So I've been trying to explain bit by bit actually what we're doing without totally boring the regular viewers.
Yeah.
But trying to show, somebody's asking, why did I put wax paper and why didn't I do?
Yeah, I saw it on live stream. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Into the question you actually read. That one's more important. Wax paper.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Actually. It's just a question of feel. When I was doing the green a minute ago, I just got the barren out of the box and it probably isn't oiled well enough and it didn't want to slide on the paper, so I used a bit of the, I think on here, just so it would slide smoothly. But as we get more warmed up this morning, it's picking up oil from here, it's sliding more smoothly, so I just tried one without it and it works fine.
So before it's kind of worn in for the day, it doesn't work as smoothly.
Well, yes, no, it's also too, the wider the printing area is here, it's more difficult to slide across, so it's just a case by case, minute by minute.
Yeah.
How was yesterday? I was out here while the cat's away, the rats will play. Is that a good? We shouldn't use that one, I don't think.
No,
right?
we don't need any rats playing. But it was actually great. Yeah, you probably already saw it. Quite a few people
salesmen,
came in.
Yeah, so. But as far as stress and trouble and
No, they were efficient. Everyone used their time wisely between all the sales that were going on.
I saw that on a flea market packing. Yeah, good. Good.
Yeah, lots of stuff out the door. It was great.
And we're officially closed. The shop downstairs is officially closed on Tuesdays. We just have a 6-day week. But here in the peak season, back in cherry season and here in autumn season, so many people come, they're walking down the street anyway, they've come all the way from overseas to see us. They didn't know we were closed. So don't advertise this, don't tell us, don't talk about it. But we're sometimes here on Tuesdays anyway. And I shouldn't say this because we're not going to, October, November, we may be here.
Yeah, and it's not even every week.
So if you're planning to come, you do not come Tuesdays. But just in an attempt to try and be, friendly to our fans and stuff, we're sometimes quietly opening on Tuesdays. But don't count on it. Please, please, please don't count on it. Yeah. Can I emphasize that more strongly?
Yesterday, no one knew who we were before yesterday. One person had arrived on a flight and saw the documentary. Another person, or there was a small group of Chinese customers, and Louis spoke great Chinese to them, and so they stuck around for a long time and bought a couple prints.
Of course.
I was shocked at that. I knew she spoke some Chinese, but
I thought she was a bit of. I thought her level was like hello and ordering a hamburger at McDonald's. She did a beautiful job. Yeah, she's coming along very nicely.
Yeah, she did a really nice job, and they loved talking with her and learning about, why were you in China? Where did you learn this?
He's talking about one of our new staff members, Dui-san, isn't he? So, a girl who sort of chased us a while. We weren't, whatever. She kept posting to our Facebook page, how much do you guys pay? How much do you pay? And stuff like this. And I was thinking, lady, give me a break. Let's talk first,
Yeah,
but she has turned out to be really nice.
She's been great, yeah.
I sort of insulted her a couple of weeks ago. I was trying to describe her, what she's like. And I maybe I used the wrong expression. I said she's she's really young. She uses the word like in every second sentence. Like, it's always like, it's like whatever. So I think I used the word, she's kind of like a valley girl.
Yeah.
Trying to find an expression. It's not really accurate because that was what was that? Gagged me with a spoon stuff, whatever. And she's not that much of an airhead, but she is in that direction.
But she did really well, and they really liked all the prints that they found, so that was nice.
It seemed that group, they bought mostly antique prints.
Yes.
Yeah. So rather than the new stuff. That's interesting. And were they from mainland China or Hong Kong?
They were all mainland China.
That's really an interesting thing then.
Yeah.
Rather than the modern prints, it was the antique ones.
Mm-hmm.
I would have perhaps thought the other way around.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought too, but this one woman was choosing them and the rest were just talking and admiring the different works, asking how are these made and trying to
So they didn't miss that I wasn't there at all. They didn't even know about me.
Yep, they didn't know who you were, so it didn't matter.
Perfect.
Sorry.
No, good. No. That's, Let's
what
get
you
out of
hope
there.
for,
So
right?
exactly.
Yeah, so it went great. Let's see. How was Nico?
It was really, really super crowded. I mean,
Really?
I thought it was going to be okay because it was a Tuesday. It wasn't. It was a bear garden. We couldn't. We never even got into the main shrine.
Really?
We got up to the gate and we just couldn't even get in there. And part of it I screwed up because I thought it was wheelchair accessible these days. So we took the baby buggy with us.
Oh,
and I read it is wheelchair accessible. The hell it is. It's gravel sidewalks. It's I don't know what kind of magnetic levitation wheelchair you need to get around the place. I don't know.
Wow.
So we ended up daycare the baby, and I pack up the wheelchair and put it in my bag. I pack up the baby buggy.
Yeah.
You know. But no, we had fun. It was mostly just sitting, waiting for the baby to go to sleep, so we could walk a bit and waiting for the baby to go to sleep. So we didn't see a hell of a lot of actual Nico stuff.
Right.
But we had a good time.
That's good.
Quality time with my daughter. What can I say? You know.
That's great. Bear garden? Question mark. I guess I've not heard that expression.
I don't know. Is that something funny? It was a real bear garden. I don't think I made it up. I think that's the thing. It means it was really, really busy.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't heard it, but I understood it from
Look
context.
it up.
Yeah.
There's a real bear garden. I think it's something, maybe Shakespeare or something. I don't know.
Talented, says a Professor X chair. That's exactly what I thought of too. Professor Xavier, one of the X-Men. He has a floating wheelchair, so that would have worked great going up all those stairs.
Yeah.
So I think it's Canadian.
It's quite possible, absolutely quite possible.
Sorry,
So that's good. I need to go get another brush, a brown brush. Excuse me a second from the room next door here. Yoish. Testing. This morning at 8:08 or 8:07 thereabouts, I had the door wide open, and man, we could hear her a block away and a block down the street. It was great. We're back in business. We haven't heard her for a while, but it was really nice. The shoe lady meme is alive and well. You know, so.
Is she wearing Geta or something?
No. That's a totally double click. You know, double click.
Yeah.
And we had a bit of show and tell on a Sunday night. There was a ton of auctions. I got some and I didn't get some, and I got some and I didn't get some. So Monday night the payments went through. Sunday night the payments went through. Monday they shipped. Tuesday they got here.
Yeah, a bunch of
we showed this to the stream, but I got to show this to Cameron. Set a reproduction of a Hookside painting. I have a book at home which has got a collection of Hookside paintings in it, and among those he did one of a salmon, a fish head, being eaten by rats. And I'd never seen a woodbuck version of it. This came up on Sunday night, and I thought this is for Moko Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And it's beautifully made. You know, just gorgeous gradations. Look at the gradations on the mice. And going by the paper, this is somewhere late Meiji. I don't know. This is pre-war, pre-earthquake, I think. I really don't know. And the problem is somebody else also wanted it. So I ended up, it's about 8,000 yen.
No.
Which, whatever, it's okay. We can afford that, Cameron, right?
Yeah.
It's okay?
Yeah,
It's okay.
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
You've got permission.
And it's half sarcastic. I know a payday is, well, whatever, tomorrow, a couple of days. So I have to be careful about how much money I throw out because we got to leave enough here for the payday. But it's okay. We can get this for the collection. So it came up really, really nice. We were showing it on stream a bit earlier, so I've already had it out of the bag and shop. So it's beautiful. And then another package of small prints came. How much to do? I got to do printmaking. We got too much show and tell. These are dynamite. I'm going to show these. Should we do this? I don't care. I've got printing to do. I don't care. Was there a rope or a cord? No. What the fish head is. This is for hanging. Oh, I've seen this in Hokkaido. They do the fish. They take them. They catch them. They slice them up. Whatever. And remember, they're talking about preservation in an era before freezers and stuff. So it's to dry in the wind. So they got a straw rope, tie it around, and hang these things up in the cold wind. So whether it was hung up as a full fish or just a head, I don't know. But the rope you're seeing is run through the gills and it hangs on a thing, and the cold wind from whatever, Soviet or whatever, comes across. Siberia, and then dries it off.
Yeah.
That's just part of what the actual object was. Show and tell.
Like,
These.
let's do it. Show and tell.
No, me too. But the thing is about when I do the show and tell, we have an expectation that I know what I'm talking about. I can show you these things and explain carefully, and Professor Dave shows what's going on. We had a couple of show and tells last week where I didn't know. I'd showed stuff and I hadn't done any preparation, and I'm like, I'm not quite sure what this is, but it looks pretty, and I made myself look like an absolute idiot. And I'm about to do the same thing again. Not quite. There was 5 auctions came up, and the guy had labeled them as Meiji-era Takamizawa reproductions.
Okay.
And such a thing is really, really insanely rare. Takamizawa started back in the Meiji era. Takamizawa is one of the companies that made woodblock print reproductions, the same as we do. I make a reproduction of the Great Wave. Takamizawa is one of the companies that did this starting back in the Meiji time. And they were stupendously high quality in Meiji and into Taisho. And then they got real big, and they started making tons of stuff, and the quality went down. They paused during the war. They came back after the war to try it. They went bankrupt. They got in debt. I used to get phone calls from one of my paper suppliers. Dave, what about Takamizawa? Have you heard? I haven't got paid for the last paper shipment. And I'm like, what do I know about this? And why
It has nothing to do.
Well, because she knows I'm in the scene down here.
Right.
Anyway, long story short, one of these companies like Adachi Takamizawa that started stupendously high, beautifully quality creations, did it for a while and then couldn't sustain it over the course of a century. I mean, this is anyway. So what we got? The guy advertised these as Meiji-era Takamizawa prints, and I'm like, yeah. We never see those. They've all earthquaked and burned and whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, they are Meiji-era reproductions. And what they've done is these are postcard-size reproductions. How do we figure out how to get the camera working here?
Those of you who don't know your Japanese emperors, Meiji era is late 1860s until the early 1900s. What is it, 1912 or so when Meiji ended?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm asking
Ask
you now.
these guys.
Okay.
Cameron, you got to learn how to run this thing.
Yeah. But I think it's 1868 or so until about 1912.
Yeah.
But
Now, okay, what this is these are what they call in Japanese hagaki. They're postcard-sized reproductions of woodblock prints. Now, they're not postcards in any sense of being put into mailboxes with messages on the back. Just simply, it was a paper size. If you think about our A4 paper size, it's 1/4 of that in the traditional paper sizes. See, the stream answer,
Nailed it.
Stream answer, of course. And these are reproductions of prints that would have been made at a much, much larger size, down smaller. And I put them under the microscope, one of them under the microscope this morning. Yeah. And it's a real print, it's carved, and on the back you can see it's rubbed. Cameron, take a look at a couple of these things. And they are just, I'm going to ramble. There is no way that this human just, oh my God, I'm going to show these to Sugu-san this morning, and she is going to scream, literally scream. So. It's the whole quality package. The line work is stupendously delicately carved. The colors are stupendously delicately printed. The registration is as tight as a...
something tight.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. When I used to work in fixing musical instrument business, just fixing musical instruments, the guy who ran the workshop, he said it's as tight as something I can't repeat in public, or the ladies will be more than angry at me. But whatever expression you want to use, it doesn't get any better than this. They're beautifully made. They're a delicacy that hasn't been seen in woodblock printmaking for generations. And they took the full original. You have it here. There's a couple here that are so spectacular. Look at this stuff. They took the full Oban original, shrunk it down, color for color for color for color for color for color for block for block. Look at the size of my finger here. Look at the kimono patterns. They've just... it took me a microscope to see this thing, and these guys didn't have that kind of tools. Anybody's thinking they're going to try and buy these, forget it. These are getting locked up here, tighter than... I keep trying to use these funny analogies. Let them go. We're going to keep these prints. they're an absolute treasure. And there were 5 lots of them. The guy put them up.
Wow.
Instead of as one lot, he put them up as 5 lots. And one of them, the first lot that opened, had the famous Heron Maiden print in it. This is a Harunobu heron. And I wanted that badly. And it went like a group of 4 of these, and it went over like $300.
For 4 prints?
For 4 of these little prints. And I had to say, I cannot justify doing this.
Wow.
And I was afraid, are they all going to go, all 5 lots are going to do that? No, he shot his wad and he was gone. So the other 4 batches I got at a much more reasonable price.
Huh.
Is that Suga-san?
I think it is.
Suga-san is coming. Stand by. Protect your ears. Suga-san, come in. Come and sit down. Cameron-san, move over.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
昨日の夜のオークションです。
オークション？
オークショングッズ。明治時代の明治時代の高見沢の復刻版です。
綺麗。
Why is she so quiet? Are you okay? 病気ですか？大丈夫？
うん、大丈夫。
いや、ギャーッと。もうちょっとこっちの方に。
どれ？あ、本当だ。
Have a
おは
look
ようご
at
ざい
this.
ます。うわー、すごい。細か。
Here she goes. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
何これ？すごい。
It's coming. She's seeing it. Unbelievable でしょ？
すごいねこれ。細か。
She's just getting warmed up.
こんなちっちゃいやつでこんなクオリティが高いやつ、す
Look at this.
ごいよ。
Look at this. It's unbelievable. Here, eat, drink. はい。
すごい。これはすごい
This is
よ。
one of our printers who does lots of art. Ukiyo-e here is
剣
another
とぴっ
print.
たりでしょ？それからこの濃さ、薄さ、色のバランスでしょ？これこのバランスでしょ？ Look at that palette.
これさ、ちっちゃいのもったいないね。ちっちゃいのもったいないっていうか。
Unbelievable. わかりますよ。
ねえ。
わかりますよ。ちょっとわかんない。オモハンはコロタイプかわからない。まだ顕微鏡でまだはっきり見てないんです。でも色の方が普通の浮世絵すりです。薄い紙で。
うわー、綺麗。
オモハンちょっとわからないです。
すごい綺麗。明治？すごい綺麗。
明治ですね。もう絶対明治。
色あせないでちゃんと。
だからもうseriously speak Japanese. These things have been shut up in a drawer and just left for 100 years and never been uncovered. That's why we have the colors, beautifully soft, delicate colors. And there's about 30 of them I got, I guess. And this is stunningly important part of our collection. It's going to be.
すごい。
I can't do anything like this. Suga-san can't do anything like this. I mean, we're in stunned amazement of how these craftsmen were able to do this. We think we're pretty good at this. We're trying to be pretty good at this.
うわ、綺麗。このち。
It's not that, what can I say? It's just such a different world. The paper was different. The blocks were different. The air was different. It was a non-electric world. It was just a different rhythm of human life when they did these things. And for us to try and replicate this, it's a wonderful goal, but we will never, ever be able to do this.
これはいい。これはすごくいい。これすごい。
Careful of a pigment bowl, is there? A dangerous pigment bowl? Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. Thank you.
すごい。
Mucking around, it's worse. Okay.
細かい。細かい。
And it's one thing we don't really know is who were the consumers of these particular kinds of things back then. And that's an open question. And our friend Doi-san is really trying to research this. He's looking for advertisements or newspaper flyers or whatever that would show what they were and who was buying them and what kind of stuff. And every now and then, I don't have one for this group, but I've got some other Taisho prints. I got a package and there was an old receipt tucked into the back of the package, which hadn't been thrown away. And that gives a real good, strong clue about how much they were and what was going on and who was collecting them.
That'd be fascinating.
And I really don't have much of an answer to that. I doubt very much that these were for the Western foreign market in Japan at that time. I don't think so. I think they were for educated Japanese people who were just trying to get at this time there was a new middle class growing and they wanted to learn about their country's history. Remember, there had been no history books or textbooks or anything back in the Edo time. There'd just been government stuff about what was acceptable to learn. So there was a huge thirst in the country about their own history and their own culture. And Takamisawa stepped into that and look at this one. Look at this one. This isn't colorful, but look at the balance of colors here. Tsuku-san.
ああ、
The grays and purples and tones.
ああ、綺麗。本当にこの小ささでこの
So
この
look
ク
at
オ
the
リティ
scale
は
here.
ものすごい。
this is in an era before, you know, photomechanical reproduction. Everything you see here was carved by hand on wood blocks and then printed one by one by one by one by one.
紙が
Just the delicacy of the interplay between these little colors, you know. How did they do this?
紙がね、すごいこれ。どういうこと？
So, I better do my own work here a little bit. I better do my own work here.
めっちゃ綺麗。
So,
すごい
here
綺
you go,
麗。
Susan. Here.
へえ、ちょっと何こ
Is
れ。
there mica on the print you were just
There is, yes. Some of them have. That was one of Takamizawa's trademarks. What they would do is, you know, some of it's is that one that had it. It's hard because it comes off some of them and floats onto the others, so it's hard to tell if it's just come out of the package or if it was intentional. Can I see it here? I don't know if you can see it. Some of them do have a very faint mica dusting. You can see it there. Here, see it? The little
bit of
tiny
a
specks.
sheen.
Little tiny specks, yeah. And it was a Takamizawa trademark.
見当ずれてないし。
Zuri-san, you're thinking, I don't get it. I don't believe it.
うんすっごい
It
綺麗。
doesn't seem possible to show.
ああ、
Anyway, she can rave about that.
とっても綺麗。
So much for my test printing again today.
あ、テスト中だったの今。
So. What about Saki? No,
ああ、そっちね。
そうそうそうそう
ああ、はいはい。
she's going to sit here all day now staring at those things, not getting any work done. So here's another one.
She's learning.
あ、これも？
Look,
これすごい。
Kono Sakura.
わあ、綺麗。すごい綺麗。バランスがみんなさ、こんなちっちゃいのにさ、あれだよね。みんな。うわー、かわいい。
Now, where am I? I went to get a brush, right, Cameron?
Yes.
What did I do with it? I got a brown brush. I've got a red and a green. Where's the brown brush that I went to fetch? Stream, where's my brown brush?
That one right there to your left.
Oh, there it is.
あれ、デビットさん、日光行ってきたの？
行ったよ。はい。
あ、行ってきたの？
そう
左で帰ってきたの？
もちろん以外。Come on, Cameron, have a seat again. So I haven't been copying. I'm sorry. So next to the scissors, this has become another.
Yeah, they're surprised how there's no foxing or molding on those too.
Yeah.
How did they keep them so well preserved?
Quality of the paper.
Yeah.
We see the foxing on Showa, early Showa and mid Showa stuff, because the packaging material was awful. By then, the paper had started to, the quality of the paper. Yeah. And I'm nervous about our own productions. We make these new prints, and we're using, Showa,
Modern
Heisei,
paper,
or
yeah.
modern paper, and I don't know.
With the brush, he's applying a little bit of pigment onto the block so that when he puts the paper onto it, there's pigment to actually transfer up onto the paper. So,
You're explaining. Good. Thanks. You met so many new people here today, so it must be confusing for a new one. I'm sorry. So, okay, let's try and run this by again. Then the goal is this: we're trying to make pictures on paper. These are Japanese wood block prints. Again, for the new people. I'm sorry for repeating this, but for the new people, we're making pictures. We're going to make a stack of these pictures, 200, 300, 400 copies of the same thing. And to do the reproducing of this, what we do is we carve shapes onto pieces of wood. This particular picture that you just saw has a bunch of different colors. It's got, where am I with the camera here? It's got green, red, lilac, dark lilac, background black. It's got a bunch of colors. And every one of those colors is carved. The shapes to make the color are carved onto a piece of wood. Perhaps you can see what's happening here. That green carving, it's done face down, of course, so it's backwards. You can see where it goes, right? The green here matches. These green shapes match the things that are carved. So after the carving is finished, I rub color on like you see me doing in a minute and transfer to the paper. And how does it line up? There's a corner and a line here. So again, I'm sorry again for the repetition. There's so many new people here today who don't know this. So here we are. This one has a very, very, very tiny bit of areas carved. You can see it there. wood has been chopped away, leaving just some very small shapes. I now rub color over the whole area, high parts and low parts. And when we put the paper on top, in the corner, in the line, very, very soft rubbing on the back. I don't know where this one is yet. I haven't learned how to do this one. The color transfers in the areas that were carved. So this is Japanese woodblock printmaking, step by step by step. And what that area is going to be, we're just going to make up part of this bird's body, step by step by step. The print looks like it's at a smaller scale than the block. Well, I don't know, but obviously they're the same size.
Could be a trick of perspective or something with the camera. I don't know.
Where are those prints? Did she steal them?
I think she was taking a look at them.
Quick, count them. Lock the doors. Lock the doors. I think she just quit her job. She's going to take those and
resell them one by one.
Sugi-san, the lady you just saw, you know, it's so much fun having people like that here. She's a wonderful printer by herself. She's climbing. They're still here. Okay, all right, count them. And what I love about her is that she will see these and think, oh my God, how can I do the same thing? You know, she wants to be able to do this. And the more people we get here that drink this Kool-Aid, that see these things and understand. Because some of the workshops are just like print it. The old ones are good, oh yeah, Shogun, it can't happen anymore. They have the feeling that that's the old days, we can't do that anymore, you know.
Not worth the effort.
Or not worth the effort, but that it can't be done because of all the negatives. The paper's gone, the blocks are gone, the air is different, the Chinese sulfur dioxide in the air, you know, all these things. So they've given up. They just make prints that are match the day. And we're not so willing to give up, that's all. We're not so willing to give up.
Yes. Someone asked, how do you make sure the blocks line up? Just like that. There's a corner cut, and then another horizontal line so that the paper, which they're all cut to the same size, they all get...
There's the paper, nestled in. You can see it. It's nestled into the corner mark. Here and here.
And it has the marks in the same relative location for each color.
Yep, and the marks are carved into the blocks. They're not just written on. They're actually click, click, click. It's a carved slot.
And that's how they line up every time. When do we get a Jed-designed print of a Kool-Aid man, since you're talking about people drinking the Kool-Aid?
Actually, I think I used that expression a while back, talking to somebody. He said, Dave, don't do that, okay? And I'm like, what do you mean, drink the Kool-Aid? Means because of the derivation, where that comes from. It was not such a pleasant event in history.
Indeed.
So I don't, to me, I don't even think of that, but so maybe I should or shouldn't, whatever, I don't know. I don't know how the company who owns that brand name handled that episode. I don't know.
Other videos of carving? Yes, plenty. Either here on Twitch or on the YouTube channel.
But more of our live streams are about the carving than about the printing usually, because I'm a carver here, but I'm not one of the main printers in the group. I do printing. I'm doing it today as testing. But once this goes for production, Sugi-san and the other girls will be printing it. So, and I will be going back to my carving bench. I've got to get the New Year's card ready, and then the first print for next year's series has to be carved. So most of these streams are about carving rather than about printing.
Have you done any other non-Japanese styles printmaking? I think the answer is no. But
no, I'm not interested in it. You know, I know this is my skill set, and these are the objects that I'm interested in. So no, I've got enough on my plate with this.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a few colors now. It's coming together bit by bit by bit. Our base green, the base red, and the base. We should now start to find the lilac. And that's going to take me a bit of time. What time is it, Cameron? So I've got time?
9:11.
Okay. I certainly won't be getting to the end of this, but let's have a look. I haven't got anything color mixed here, so.
I think this is something we've had people ask about in comments on YouTube videos and elsewhere.
What's that?
How do you mix your pigments? How do you decide what goes in to get the right color you're looking for? Things
Well,
like that.
we showed that the YouTube video of Kubota-san doing the printing
That's right.
on, what was it? It was...
the serpent strikes.
Yeah. And it was sort of easier for him to do that because he had a bunch of pigment pots scattered around. This isn't my printing station, so I don't have that. So what I'm going to use for this lilac, so I'm just going to steal whatever's here. There's a... So maybe put the...
Down a bit.
Yeah, let's see.
Yes, the bot is getting a workout today.
Is it complaining? What I do need that I don't have Cameron San is, here, let's see this.
How do you layer the colors without overlap? We want overlap. It helps make new colors by mixing within the paper. Is that accurate? Or
The ones I've done right now, these three, 1, 2, 3, haven't been overlapping, but a great many of our prints do. We'll print a yellow base or something, print a blue area over part of it, and that'll make green in the overlapping area.
so you end up with 3 colors out of 2 pigments.
I mean, what we're doing today here, it's not meant to be an intensive tutorial. This is just a small little view over my shoulder as I do some of the work that's necessary today. So this is not a tutorial stream, I'm sorry.
All these people starting down the rabbit hole of Mokuhanga. Welcome.
Yeah.
Come learn. Make some.
So we need lilac. So what I've got here is I've got a red and some kind of blue, and I think we'll need a bit of black in here. And I have no brush, so excuse me, sir, while I go get a brush for this. Excuse me. Go.
Yeah, the pigments are all water-based instead of oil-based, so they're transparent, and that's how they overlap and build up together. Unlike some other printmaking.
Yeah, there's no
techniques.
opacity here.
Yeah.
So.
Put these back in.
Yeah, whatever it's in my.
How many did we start with?
Yeah.
Sorry.
こうやちぎやから
Yeah. Dad jokes.
Hmm?
Dad jokes.
Oh, Dad jokes. There.
Has modern technology helped make the art of Japanese woodblock printmaking easier in any way? It still looks pretty analog to me, for the most part.
Yeah, we're analog. There are people experimenting with laser carving, with 3D printing to make blocks, and all. Lots of people exploring techniques like that. We've talked about this many times. Go for it. We ourselves don't want to. We ourselves want to do it by hand. That's our shtick. If you look at it in a cynical way, that's our job. That's our skill set. So. How is
But
modern
it
technology?
connects people all around.
Well,
the
that's what I was
world.
going to say. I mean, this is one way we use modern technology right here is this. Of course, that's one part of it. But in the actual physical production of the prints, no. But having said that, back in when Meiji was, when Japan was modernizing, the publishers all tried to use as much as they could. They tried figuring out how to do things more quickly, more efficiently. Because the printmaking business back in the old day was simply, it was time is money. It was the printing business, They weren't making prints to be artistic or collectible or made by hand. It was time is money.
Yeah. Advertisements, books.
The printing business.
Yeah.
That's a bit too purpley, so we got to go a bit more on the blue side here. We want a dirty lilac here. Pull from each side till we get what we want here. And what we're going to do, Cameron, different this time is when we did this block last time, we printed these lilac colors. We overprinted on the green.
Right.
And some of them, most of the tests, it really, am I on the camera's in a different place. We overprinted the lilac onto the green, and it just gave it a muddy, dirty impression.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking I'm going to do this time is, before we do the real thing, I'm probably going to cut those things off this block
Okay.
and just do the lilac just on the bird by itself. But today's a test, so I'm not going to do any chopping or cutting now.
Right.
I'm just going to test this, putting that color tone just onto the bird here. And it's going to bash some nearby stuff, but I don't care for the moment. So. Test piece of paper here. Oh my God. I think that's about our tone, maybe. It's a bit more on the blue side, right?
Yeah, the other one is
The other way.
bluer.
That's a bit more red. So.
It always surprises me as one who doesn't make the prints to see how faint the pigment looks.
Yeah,
on the
how little
block.
we use bean, yeah.
It hardly looks like you've got any color on there at all, but when you transfer it, it's a rich color.
Yeah.
Does your desk pop out of the floor? It looks like your legs are in some kind of hole. Yes, that's what's going on right now. This is a raised floor with a sliding desk. And a lot of our printers have put heated blankets, heated floor pads, little rugs to keep you warm in the winter. Down that little hole.
This year, this is the first winter coming into the shop that we've had our air conditioner, so
Oh yeah, that's right.
you'll see how it goes.
3D printing, even with ABS filament, is too soft for block printing. I tried and failed. So 3D printing might not be able to do it yet, it sounds like.
I'm not sure. Too soft, too hard. I mean, I know I have no direct experience with it, but what we need, when we need a block, it's got to be firm and hard, to physically take the impression. But because we're using water-based prints, it's also got to be, water has to be able to go inside it, soluble. So I think most, so far, 3D printing has either been with things like hard plastics, and in some they're using metal powders or whatever in some cases built up. And both of those things maybe make a hard surface, but they don't allow water to go inside. So if you're doing woodblock printing in the Western style, where the block is really hard and you roll oil-based pigments on top and print it, that might be a real cool way to make printing blocks. But for us, we need the absorbability. The current methods of 3D printing, by and large, that I've seen so far anyway, don't really suit us. Of course, that technology is evolving minute by minute by minute as we go. So at some point, someone's going to have the capability of making a 3D printed matrix that will be firm and hard and that will have water solubility. And at that point, it will be totally technically possible, feasible to go ahead and do this. we ourselves are not really going to muck around with that so much because our job is, doing it this traditional way. It's what we like and it's what our fans expect. It's our skill set. So, but again, I can't repeat that often enough. People say, Dave, are you against the idea of using the 3D printing and stuff to do this? I'm not against it in policy, just we're going to let that one go, that bus go by, and people who want to do it, go ahead, go for it, So we have no Luddite frame of mind about this, but the more people who are making interesting, prints and things, then the better it is for all of us. There's no competition in that sense. Yeah. And that came up last year when that woodblock print shop opened in the next block here, Sakai Kokodo. I remember Ishikawa-san came to me and said, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" Like she's half panicking because in the next block there's a new woodblock print shop. Customers coming from Setsoji see that one first. They're going to use up all their money and we're not going to get any customers. That's not how it works.
That happened here.
So I told her, if I could do this, if I could ask Adachi, open across the street, ask Yuido, let's put all the woodblock print companies in Tokyo, come over all on this street, Oh my God, every single visitor who came to this country would come down this street, So there's no competition. What is there, 6 billion people in the world? 7 billion? I don't know the number. How many have a woodblock print yet?
Not enough.
Not enough. So. I'm sorry for the slow nature of today's work. It's just testing. I'm sorry. We're not doing production runs this morning. This is simply putting pigment on these blocks to try and test some color balances.
But it's been good for answering questions for new cases. We've got how many prints can a block survive, basically? But it can be many thousands.
Many thousands. At the moment, of the prints we've got in production, the rickshaw card is up to 1,400. The Great Wave is around the same number. Last time I inspected the blocks onto the scope, it is negligible wear and tear. Thousands is possible. Our most experience comes with the one we used in a print party for the past 4 years. We had an image of the Japanese folk tale character Momotaro, and we ran well over 10,000. And by the 10,000th copy, they weren't looking all that great. We wouldn't have wanted to sell those prints in the shop, so they were still usable for print experience.
Learning experience, yeah.
But tens of thousands, it's possible. It's possible. Yeah. And in the old days, they did. That's what they did. They just ran those blocks. If it was a popular image, they ran the blocks till they were flat.
Yeah. The real damage, John Becker posits, comes from the abrasiveness of the pigments.
Yeah, what I'm doing right now is the damage. This thing does almost nothing. It's just pressing down on top. This is the part, the pigment abrasion. So if the pigments are really delicately ground, less abrasion. If they're just roughly ground like they are today, just to test, then lots of abrasion on the block. If you're concerned about block wear, you've got to use the most delicately ground pigments you possibly can. But the rubbing tool does nothing, next to nothing.
Did you ever see zinc blocks being used on Yoshida prints? And did they only use color blocks? Or you only use it for the key blocks, ever for color blocks?
It's not practical to use a metal block for the color blocks. The Yoshida prints, most of them are made on zinc blocks, the key blocks. And I mean, how much to explain? I don't have a. Here's a key block here. No, that's not a key block. This may be a good example. Here we go. This is the print that Kawai-san's working on here at the moment. Here we are. Okay. This is an ukiyo-e print. There's the key block. This is all wood. It's fine lines for the most part. If this was a zinc block or a metal block, we could actually get away with it because there's no need for a heavy amount of paste on here. Just the ink itself will transfer. But for color blocks, we have lots of wide open areas. And if that was metal, water doesn't absorb into it. And we, water, the pigment will just sit on top of it, blobby, 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 blobby. We can't print smooth ukiyo type color from color blocks that are too hard. So the Yoshida prints were made with outline blocks in metal, zinc, and color blocks in cherry wood, and in modern times plywood.
Yeah. Would harder wood last longer? We're using some pretty hard wood.
Harder wood lasts longer, of course. It's plus and minus. The harder it is, the less the water absorbs into it. So it may be too hard. Like I said, harder for a color block is no good. So it's all a balance.
Yeah.
Everything is a balance, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There's no single one rule that fits the whole world of woodblock printmaking here. I see somebody stirring. It was Craig just turning up. I guess my daughter and her husband are here, and they must have had a rough night last night because when I got up at 6:30 to see, are you guys ready for breakfast? I kept my mouth shut, and that room is just. So I backed away. I went down there about 7. So I backed away. I went down there about 7:45 before the stream. So I kept well away. But I see Craig now has come up, so I think they probably had a night to remember last night. My daughter's here with her kid, a 6-month-old kid, and it's
a 6-month-old
baby. Yeah.
that's what it is.
Well, my daughter isn't a 6-month-old kid. Okay. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So, if any of you have had a 6-month-old baby, nights aren't always restful.
This is part of the bird. Now you can see in the sample we had last week.
Building up.
We're building up. The bird area is made of 2 layers of lilac blue. There's a lighter one, the tail and body, and a darker one at the top. And I've now got the lighter part in place. And actually, there's good news and bad news here. I have got to get going. I got 2 more sheets left here. I'm running out of time. Sorry. Again, for new people here, these streams usually run about 90 minutes. We start at 8 o'clock in the morning, here Japan time, Tokyo time. Cameron sometimes comes along around 8:45, which is about halfway through our streams here. And one by one, the other staff members come in. I've got to run the shop from 10 o'clock. And did you see, Deichan? She booked off today.
Oh, no.
She booked off. She's not feeling very well. So I have got to run print parties today. And we're doing microwave. Every day now we're running the microwave print in our print parties non-stop, front to back, front to back. We've made the full switch. The Peach Boy is...
It's been through over 10,000 printings. So
The Peach Boy has expired. The Sensoji print design is on... It's not on hold. It's on standby. We will switch it on and switch it out. The print parties now are running mostly with the microwave. But the staff still doesn't know how to do this effectively. So
you're getting experience right
it's
now.
me. So I'm running all the print parties at the moment, training our staff and having the print party experience for the people at the same time. And I have the first one of the day at 10 o'clock. I've got to get the blocks ready. So I've got to actually put the stuff away right now and get to my work down in the shop. Thanks very much for all the new viewers who are in here. We stream daily from 8 o'clock Japan time, except Tuesdays. These are Japan,
that's a whole
Japan
week
time.
from now.
It's a whole week from now. And some days it's printing, some days it's a bit scrambled like it has been today. We show some old prints, and some days it's carving. Some days I'm gluing paper. There's all sorts of things going on. Tomorrow, I guess it'll probably be back here, same time, same station. I'm going to finish this up. Well, nice to see new faces. Thank you very much. I don't know if it's been interesting or not for you. The only way to find out is to come back in, drop in now and then, and catch a feel for how it works. To the regular viewers, thanks very much for putting up with all the repetition here and too many explanations that you've heard before.
And offering explanations to the new people.
Yeah,
Thank you.
They didn't do it. So, okay. From Cameron here and from David, we'll be back here tomorrow morning, same time, same station. Thanks, guys. Just one more time to pop this up. We're showing people at the beginning here this morning. This is why we have been really busy here. This is the sales of our Asakusa shop for the past 4 years, and then this month, which ends today.
Yeah.
And my God, I cannot wait for this month to end. Next month, I don't even want to think about it. Okay, whatever. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later. back again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Main camera off.
OMG. OMG.
Yeah, that's what I
Looking at
could.
that chart.
What I had to do, Cameron, that you saw what it is. Look, if I put this back up again, you see that the horizontal lines, they're groups, and I had to keep adding a new line. So it's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We've never been
Five times this month. I've had to regenerate my chart and to start with a new
up in the
y-axis.
stratosphere.
I think we're the last time. We won't have to do that again. Today we're not going to hit the next black line, so it's okay. Oh, hot mic. So, yeah.
We're
okay.
still on.
We're still, all right. No problem. Nothing bad. Okay, see you guys later. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.